It's all about the Health and Healing Hub experience each and every Saturday on your favorite station between the hours of 2 and 4. ContrastRadio.net.
Aging Unfiltered. Silver and still sizzling, or tired and haggard. Wow. If you were to choose one to describe where you are in the aging process, which one would it be? Welcome back, ladies and gents, to the Health and Healing Hub experience, hosted by myself, Funmilola, and the fantabulous Ms Tee. This week we're joined by some more awesome guests coming from all walks of life and experience, and this week they include Bro Yash, Sis Wilma, Sis Gloria, Sis San-Ra, Sis Bernice, Sis Lurline, Sis Karen, Sis Ranantat, and Sis V. So, as I mentioned, we're exploring the subject of aging unfiltered, silver and still sizzling, or tired and haggard. Before we kick off, I'd like to recommend purchasing the book Voices in Harmony. In fact, buy a few copies and keep them at home, as they're the perfect present for someone's birthday. You won't have to go rushing around looking for birthday presents, because you'll have them already. As well as supporting a worthy cause, you'll have a practical book containing amazing recipes, narratives, impactful stories and poems which are contributed by Black Women Kindness Initiative. They are a fantastic group of women who are supporting each other and the community by building real friendships and demonstrating love, kindness and joy. They practice the spirit of Ubuntu right here in London, England, where it's not the norm. I believe the book is on Amazon. If you cannot find it there, then you can email wellbeinghub23@gmail.com. That's WELLBEINGHUB23 in numbers, that is, at gmail.com. So we're going to be honest and open, and we're looking at all the joys and the not so joyous aspects of growing older. Let's jump straight in, shall we? I've got a feeling that this is going to be a lot of fun. Silver and still sizzling, or tired and haggard. It's extreme. I thought it was really, really extreme. I'm not sure if I'll choose either, to be fair. I describe myself as sometimes I'm sizzling. I have to tell myself. Just at times, you get a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and you think, for a minute, you think, wow.
Who's that girl?
You still got it, girl.
Who's that girl?
So I'd say I'm kind of a bit like that, and then other times I couldn't say I'm silver and sizzling because I colour my hair. Yeah, I colour my hair.
Yeah, I think we're looking hot, mate. We're looking hot. Yeah. If you notice over the last few weeks, you see that the greys was in. I put a little rinse in there every now and then, but I've been going grey since I was 21.
Wow.
Yeah, 21. It was, I say motherhood, because the day I found out I was pregnant, the first one appeared. It was actually blonde, but in my eyes it was blonde. It was grey hair. Yeah. But I feel more, what's the word? Liberated, more free. You know, like I said, I speak my truth. Tell it as it is. You know what I mean? What's it? Those that matter don't mind, and them that mind don't matter. You understand where I'm coming from? But the growing grey gracefully, yeah, but I'm not quite ready for the full blown. Although I've seen some silver foxes, male and female, and they're looking good. I'm talking whether it be locks or just normal, they're looking good. They're keeping themselves well. Do you know what I mean? They're looking. Listen. Even if I don't say this up, we're looking better than some of them 20-year-olds out there. I'm sorry, but it's true.
Yeah.
Do you understand where I'm coming from? And I think it's just a case of, as you get older, the material things don't matter so much. Do you know what I mean? Your health is your wealth.
Is your wealth.
Do you know what I mean? And I've recently become a grandmother, so that's just put a spring.
Congratulations.
My cheeks are up here because I've not stopped so much. When I've fallen in love all over again, put it that way.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? My baby had a baby, and I'm just... So as far as I'm concerned, and that goes for everybody on this panel, we're hot, mate. We're babes.
Yeah.
We're babes. With someone, who was it who said something about looking in the mirror and saying, "Man, you look good." And feel good. Don't get me wrong. We all have our little word. Sometimes I run out the road and please don't let me see anybody.
You do what? Sorry. You do what?
Sometimes I run out the road to go get some, and then please don't make anybody see me because they're now. The thing is, I'm looking at a mad woman. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. At times, I'm like, I'm standing out the road and coming back. I think you was. They say you're as young as you feel. You're as old as you feel. And
Absolutely.
My daughter and sons always said to me, like, "Mum, you don't act your age." I'm like, "Well, what is a 50? I'm 57. I'm 57 this year. Yeah. What's a 57 supposed to act like? What is supposed to act like?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like to laugh. I like a joke. I like to give me tea. You know what I'm saying? I can also be serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't mash my can, and I'm sure that everybody that's on here. You know what I mean? But in general, I thrive on seeing people happy, content, you know what I mean? Enjoying themselves, getting themselves out of the situation and, flourishing. That puts me on a high. You know what I mean? And as you can see, I can talk for Britain, so someone else take over now.
No, I get where you're going with.
But do you understand where I'm coming from, lady?
I beg your pardon?
I said, but do you understand where I'm coming from, ladies?
No, I do, especially when you said about going to the shop and hoping nobody sees you, because sometimes when I'm doing my hair, for example, and for a minute you actually see how old you are, and then sometimes I say, Haggard, and that's like I'm having a joke with myself. I'm laughing at myself. And does anyone else want to share?
I was going to say, you have to laugh because it's funny sometimes. I'm a girly girl, so I do like him said, hair dye. I'm not ready for the full grey yet, so yeah, I'm still masking it for now, which is not a problem. You do what you do, innit, to please yourself, but yeah, sometimes the mirror, I have to go, what? I'm just like, and laugh. But I don't think I'm ever gonna act my age because I feel how I feel, and I think the friends that I have around me are the same. We are, I don't know, we're heading towards, we're 50 plus, but the way we carry on when we're together, it's like we're 12. So, and I love it that way. I wouldn't change it at all, so yeah, I'm happy. I feel that now. I just feel like Kim said, just able to express how I feel. I feel when you're kind of getting to menopausal, which I am in, your temperament is mine is a lot less it's short, so I don't really have time. My patience can be a bit short, and I've been pulled up on that. Sometimes I'm a bit snappy, but sometimes it's like, hurry up. If someone's talking to me, it's like, hurry up and get to the point kind of thing. But yeah, I think I'm just kind of like more straightforward in terms of what I want to say. The inhibitions is not as it was when I was younger, so it's a kind of freedom, so I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
Interesting. Anybody else?
Right. I don't know if anybody's heard of young-sightedness. Yeah, that's me. I made that up. Young-sightedness. When I look in the mirror, I still see myself at 21. And all.
Yes.
Yeah, and I have accepted my grey hair. I went grey at about 19.
Wow.
Dyed my hair.
Another young one.
I dyed my hair for 15 years and then I stopped.
Wow.
And the reason why I stopped is because I was dyeing my hair for 15 years because of people. And I decided I'm not going to do it for people. If I'm doing it for me. And because it's hereditary in our family.
Yeah.
My dad was completely grey at 21 and his dad was even younger. So I've always accepted mine. But friends, they say, oh, you're grey so young, you must be having problems, you've got, and stuff like that. And I did it for 15 years. And then someone we knew, I saw them like on the Thursday and she was having a party on the Saturday and she died on the Friday.
Wow.
She did have a heart problem all her life, but that made me decide I'm not doing things for people. Doing for me. It made me happy. When I was dyeing my hair, I could dye my hair today and in 2 days I've got some grey showing and I started putting the wig to hide it, and then I said no, just some of us has to grow grey gracefully. And I'm one of them. I've got lots, so I style it, and that makes me feel okay. But everybody gets to that stage when they're ready.
All right. Bernice.
Oh, darling, moi. So, silver and still sizzling, tired and haggard. Yeah, I guess it depends where you are and what's happening. So I was 59 yesterday.
Oh,
yeah.
Happy
birthday. You share your birthday with
Happy birthday, my friend.
I share my birthday with
Stevie Wonder.
Yes, girl.
Moses in the house. Moses on hey.
Right.
Darts. Yeah. Where am I? I'm sizzling slowly and quietly. It's been a rough year. I've just come from 6 weeks in hospital and lots of surgery on my spine. But I am feeling great.
Good.
I am feeling fabulous, darling.
Wonderful.
Some stuff was happening and it was running away from me and I was losing a lot of independence, and it was really frightening. The rate at which I was losing independence. And so having had surgery, which has kind of cut through all that and left me in a place where I'm good for rehab now, I'm feeling so good, it's ridiculous.
Good.
So
Thanks, Mum.
I always look for balance. Yeah, the balance is between sizzling, whether it's overtly, because I've got big energy, or it's quiet, or the other end where I'm not getting enough rest or whatever's happening. And so, yeah, definitely feeling a bit tired and haggard. But I think when I had small children, I was probably more tired and haggard than I am now. I mean, I have got so much free time now. I'm like, I think I'm just going to turn over. I mean, what are you doing today? I'm going to turn over. That's what I'm doing today, in my bed. So I think having the time to just chill and not run after anybody or worry about anything. I do the minimum as far as worrying about anything goes. Is this something I can do something about? Can I manage this? I make a plan. Can I do anything about this? No. Give it to the universe. I surrender. And I try really hard to stay with that. It doesn't always work. But for me, the older I've got, my patience has definitely got better. Oh my gosh, my patience is becoming. I love that. Just I can just chill. I can take a step back. It doesn't always work, but the more I practice it, the easier it becomes to just. Actually, this isn't about me. Let me not insert myself in this thing and get excited. It's really not about me. We're all coming with our stuff. When we meet people and they give you a side eye or they say something like, what do you mean by that? It's not about you. It really isn't. And it's been a hard and a long lesson for me. And I'm like, okay. So aging for me has been a really good experience. Childhood was really traumatic and hard and couldn't make sense of the world. And as I've gotten older, I've retained those childlike aspects. My daughter says to me, Mom, you're so childlike. And I'm like, I know, right? I have this photo of me and my daughter. We took it a couple of years ago. I think we're in Spain. And we're standing side by side. And she's holding my phone and she's holding her phone. And I'm holding a bubble wand and I'm blowing bubbles. And there's a couple of bubbles blowing up. And I just love this picture because in this picture, she's the mum. She's there looking after my stuff and I can just be me. And I absolutely love this picture because I am such a child at heart. And having so much joy, just showing up in the world as myself, whatever that's looking like on any given day. And I really don't give a flying foo-foo who approves or don't approve. I'm good. Yeah. So aging for me has been a good experience. But a lot of that, I think, comes from the women in my family. As a child, I lived in Grenada it was a matriarchal system. There were very few men. And I really understood later that the men traveled for work. They went to Canada for seasonal work. They went to the US. They went to the UK. They'd gone to Panama Canal before. They went to Trinidad. The men were in the village I grew up in. The men were missing, and it was the women were the ones who were taking care of business, and they were strong. My great aunt was in her 60s when she's looking after me and my brother, and we're 7 and 8. And they died in their 90s, still giving jokes, still being strong, still being funny. And those are my role models for what getting older means versus what this society says. This society says as you get older, you're irrelevant, you become invisible. And I'm not buying that. I've got my own idea of what getting older means, and I don't mind what other people are doing or how they see me. I know how I'm seen.
Yeah.
So that, I think that's important about who told you, who said what getting older looks like.
Yeah.
And are we following the script? And if we are, why?
Yeah. Yeah. That getting old or too old question. Did have a question similar. And I was going to say, are there any times or experiences that you're proud of, that you stand by in terms of you being too old for it? I mean, for example, this is me and one of my good friends about, we were in our 40s then. We were in our 40s, and she said to me, she asked me, would you ever have a tattoo? And I said to her, at my age, and just the way that I said it to her, she burst out laughing and I burst out laughing. We were in fits, belly laugh, because we basically, both of us, totally understood that, nah, you know what I mean? There's a time where you don't do that. And I'm not saying like, okay, someone that's older that thinks that that's fine. For them, that's fine. If that works for them, that's fantastic. But for me, my belief is on my body. What am I putting tattoos on my body for in my 40s? Is So I don't know if anyone's got any. And has there been any time where something in particular has actually been, you felt that you're too old to do this, kind of, whatever it was?
Can I ask about the tattoo? Because I'm curious about that now. Would you have had a tattoo when you were younger?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I love tattoos. I love seeing them on people. But for me personally, especially at this age, let alone when I was in my 40s, I don't want no tattoo on my body.
But why was it okay younger and not slightly older in your 40s?
Very good. Yeah, I love that question. I love that question. I'm just looking at the texture of my skin and I'm thinking, even in my 40s, I'm thinking, don't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work around here. Get out of here. But no, I love the question. I'll have to think a bit more on that. But for me, at that particular time, it was a no. That does not suit me. If I'm at a younger age, then yeah.
Well, I had. Well, I will say, my mum got a few tattoos, and I'm talking years ago. You know, the instruments have changed over the years. I remember when she got it, and I thought, let me try. And he done a prick. I said, no. And then one year, I took my sister and my son and my daughter to see my auntie in America. Moment of madness. How old was I then? I think I was about 30 then. Moment of madness. Let's get a tattoo. Well, remember we was in America, yeah? You got my sister in one cubicle, me in the other, and my son and my daughter they was running from my sister into me. Why? Because Kim was screaming like a... I mean, you could hear me in England. And the man was like, it's like, by the end of the tattoo, I'm going to say his name. And I'm as stubborn as hell, so I wouldn't. All you could hear is, say my name. But the kids come right. If you ever see the small tattoos, small little. It was on my back, and they didn't tell me till afterwards. On the back, it was very painful. Yeah? So now I went to Portugal last year. Went to Portugal for the first time. Remember, I'm over 50 now. I'm 57 this year.
Wow.
Moment of madness again.
There's only so many of those you're going to have. Come on, girl.
I'm like, because my daughter and my son's got, they like tattoos, put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah? So she said, next time I go, because she lives in Korea, next time I go to Korea, she's going to design me a tattoo. I said, all right, then, you know what? I'm going to get myself just a little one. Yeah. I went in about 3-4 different tattoo shops. Yeah. All well and good. I came out. This last one I went into, and the guy was a bit feisty, but he was. Just say for arguments that you go into a makeup shop and they just want you to buy the makeup. They're not really bothering about your skin. And he was explaining to me, because I wanted them to put numbing thing on it, so I don't understand why you can't just numb it. And then he was explaining, and he took the time out to explain. Like I said, remember feisty. Yeah, I wanted the price, and he wouldn't give me a price because he's saying to me he has to do this and he has to do that and blah blah blah. Anyway, my friend was like, he's going to do this tattoo, and I'm like, you know what? Even if he comes back, I just wanted to know the price. But because of how the man dealt with me, I ended up getting a tattoo. Yeah, but I'm thinking it's going to hurt me like the back. Yeah, I was actually talking to the guy throughout there, because he took the time to. He was like, he just done a little bit, and he stopped, done a little bit. Listen, I'm a baby when it comes to pen. I don't know how I had 2 kids. Yeah, because Miller like peeing. Yeah, me and Penny's not friends, but it was like I said, over the 50s, and I do like the tattoo, because there's some beautiful tattoos. I'm talking the artwork that's gone into it. You know what I mean, and the intricacy. It was a family-run business. Yeah, you've got the mum, dad. Even the daughter was doing this tattoo, and if you see some of the beautiful, they had there's a baby that had died basically, but they'd put the footprint of this, and they were doing it in the shop while it looked like you looking at the baby's foot.
Wow.
It was so nice, and he had like they'd done that their own little I say like memorial thing underneath it, but it was so intricate, and you can see them taking so much time. Like I remember I said, the man was feisty. But he took the time out. He told me how, why they need to do what they're doing, and I have my tattooed.
So you got that in your 50s?
I was 56 last year.
Oh
56.
wow!
I went on a big.
Y'all need to stop saying that.
Yeah.
No way.
That's my age. Stop it.
I went on a massive water slide on a dinghy. Never done that before. I've always been scared, but me and some of our family members, was it February? We went to that massive.
Come here.
That massive. What is it? It's a family swimming indoor kind of place in Romania.
Yeah.
We went there, and they've got saunas, they've got everything, jacuzzi, everything. And there was this massive slide, and my son was going on it, my daughter's boyfriend, all of them were going on it. And I was thinking, if they were saying, come on it, and I was thinking, nah, I was a bit scared because it's a big rubber dinghy, and you have to sit in it, and it goes up, and it's like a roller coaster going straight down.
I know, something like that.
And then I thought, I'm just gonna do it. And I done it, and it was amazing. And I came off it, and I went on it again.
See,
So I was thinking, yeah, let me just do it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? And it was fun. It was brilliant. So yeah, that came to mind.
See, my brother's done bungee jumping. Yeah. Meaning, I'd be the one with the rope bust, and I end up in the water. You know what I'm saying? I've wanted, like I don't know, like paragliding, that kind of stuff. But I'm like, my foot has to stay on the ground because the rope will bust. You know what I'm saying? There's anybody else, like Lola was asking, has anybody else done anything?
Well, I want to say something actually, and I'm not the adventurous person. I've had an issue with my spine for 20 years, so I have to be careful with the sort of situations I put myself in. But I'm hearing at my age, and we need to be careful with that, because what does that mean? I mean, if you've got some kind of fragile part of your body that you need to be careful with, then okay. But at your age, should have nothing to do with nothing. No, really shouldn't. No, y'all need to drop that.
Yeah.
The only thing I think about aging, and I don't know that it's even necessarily strictly about aging, but it's that idea, mutton dressed as lamb. That bothers me. That bothers me, and it's not even. It's mutton dressed as lamb at any age. If it don't look good, if it don't suit you, don't wear it. And my daughter, who's 24, and myself, she's like, Mum, how does this look? Like, Ty, how does this look? Because I don't want to go out the road and be uncomfortably in my clothes or something. No. So that isn't even necessarily about aging, but more about what's appropriate. Is it appropriate for your size? Does the color work? Does the cut work? Are you comfortable? That more than. But yeah, there's something about being comfortable in your clothes and wearing the clothes and not the clothes wearing you, and not being necessarily concerned about fashion. And everybody's wearing this, let me wear this. Does it look good on you? Does it suit you? Does it fit your figure? That would be the areas I'd be more interested in, rather than, well, you're too old to wear that. Who said?
But like you said, Sarah, I don't think it's. I think it's it doesn't matter whether you're a teenager, middle age, or old. If it don't look good, like you said, you know what I'm saying? Because you can have, I'm talking in their 70s, 80s, 90s, dressing,
girl,
years younger than what they are, but they look good.
If you feel good. And then places, there's some women who are like, oh my God, they are gorgeous. They're in their 70s and their 80s. They're wearing color. They're wearing this. I'm like, I want to be like, I want to be like that. I want to be bold in my clothes, but it's got to fit and flatter, and I've got to be comfortable. And I love color, so it's that kind of knowing what works for you, and that some of that's about experience. But there's some people you cannot tell them it don't look good. According to them, it look good. They don't care. Everybody else is wearing it. They want to wear it, and you can't tell them nothing. Fair enough. No, to you. But it's so, I mean, it's for me, fashion. I've never been fashion conscious. I have clothes from 20 years, probably longer ago, because they fit me and I like them. My daughter says I'm a hoarder. I think she lied. But still, I find a thing that worked for me. I'm going to hold that.
Does anyone else want to jump in? Well, I believe we've got one brother in the room now. What that thing? We have one brother. We have one brother. The question was there anything in particular that you felt that you were too old for? Do you ever find yourself becoming your parents, and does that scare or amuse you?
Oh God.
So what I guess essentially what I'm asking is, for example, I know I've got mummy vibes. I've got proper mum vibes all over. To the point where, why am I in your business? It's none of my business what you're eating, what you're using the microwave. You're using plastic and putting plastic in the microwave to microwave your food, you know.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I just because I've kind of got some kind of awareness, it's sometimes hard for me to or not to share it. So I tend to find myself doing that. I remember at one of my 9-to-5s, they used to call me the food police. They used to call me the food police. They used to call me Dr. Lola. Just because I like to share, and it's just out of love, really, more than anything.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good thing. Each one teach one. What knowledge you have, you pass on, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyone else want to jump in?
My mummy vibes
is, having grown up in Grenada as a child, you're not company with adults. So adults, you have manners. You say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You say please, thank you, excuse me. And as a child, this idea about children having tantrums, or the parent says no and the child is arguing with you, I don't know about none of that. So I'll be minding my business in the shop and see some child acting out, and I'm giving them the look. I don't know this child. I don't know the white, black, Indian. I don't know who this child is. I'm looking to the parent and they look back at me and they'll get, what?
So don't you see when you do that? You see when you do that, don't the child start behaving?
Behave that. What happened to you? They're constantly behaving themselves, and the parents don't even know what's going on. They're looking at me, they're looking at the person, they're looking back at me, and I'm looking at the few. Yeah, it's a silent conversation between me and the child, and they recognize the authority. They do. They'll also be friendly. It depends on the interaction. So I'm always looking at people as, is there something coming back? So if it's all, I don't see, we're good. But if there's something, it's like, hello, you pretty girl, look at you. I don't have to know the child, it's just a child, an all child. For me, it's a universal to all children. I'm responsible for children. I have a responsibility towards children, towards the safety. You know, and if parents want to insert themselves, does often happen. So for me, I'm in the world as an adult looking out for children.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can resonate with that. I can, as far as I'm concerned, I don't like rude picnic.
Okay.
Yeah. Get in there before I do. I will give you a chance. I give you a chance. If I'm in there, because like you said, Sarah, I think we have that responsibility. You know what I mean? So that is my money vibe. But I also like the challenge of that child that likes to back chat and carry on. It's always the same. It's not a case of wait till I call your dad. It was always wait till I call your mum, or I'm going to take you to see Auntie Kimmy. Auntie Kimmy's going to tell me your Auntie. Never beat them. See the mouth and the yai. And the yai is that feeling that they know that you're disappointed with whatever that is that they've done, because you know they can do better, or you know that they know they shouldn't have done it.
I try to speak.
Yeah, Nelly, did you want to expand on the conversation?
Yes.
Mummy vibes.
I would say when I was younger, I was more like my mom. I was very strict, but as I become older, somehow patience came into being. And whenever I see children that is, doing things naughty, I will just look at them and I will say, you think you should be doing that? And just saying or asking them a question, mommy, they tend to be scared or just smile. But somehow, as we get older, there is a time of reflection, and as we reflect in our life, I feel that we start looking at why do I have to be upset about this? Why do I being angry? Things like that. And as a result, you just feel a calmness comes into you. And you look at your children and you look back at how you brought them up.
Yes.
And you look at it, you think to yourself, I could have handled that situation much better. So if I do have grandchildren, and if I don't even get grandchildren and I see other people's children, I'll exercise that patience.
Yeah, definitely.
And that is what I've found that is different now as I get older.
Can anybody else resonate with that? Because I think that comes with like your lived experiences. Like you said, time's gone past now.
Yeah.
Time's gone past. So you see whether it be the errors of your ways or, like you said, what you could have handled back then if you handled it differently now, with your mindset, your changes, your lived experiences, you could have maybe handled it differently. So anybody else, who can I pick? Karen, would you like to?
Hello. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, well, for me, I grew up, just with both my parents, but my grandparents were in Jamaica. So I think my mum was kind of like a bit of a modern mum at the time, but with very traditional values. And it's funny because, like, when I had my daughter, and I was about just going on towards 23 when I had her, and I just found myself like having looked at my mum as the blueprint for growing children. And I do remember that when I had my daughter, and she's a bit of a cheeky person when she's ready. I remember used to saying to her, "Me and a friend," and things like "Don't pass your place," that kind of thing. And she's always had boundaries. We have fun, but there are boundaries. Yeah. So she knows that she can have a laugh with Mummy. And now that she's an adult, we are actually we're kind of like friends. We're kind of like besties. But there is still, even though she's in her 30s, she still has to understand that, irrespective of whatever, I'm still Mummy, and the respect still has to be there. And we were doing a bit of decluttering. And I like keeping hold of, children's memorabilia, all the kind of, like some of those naff paintings that you kind of keep because it was that particular age and it's really nice. And I was just trying to scale them down to the ones that I feel that's the most important. And I buck up on one piece of writing she did to me, and it said, "My mummy is my friend." I burst that laugh and I showed her. And I said, yeah, from way back. She says, "Oh, even though you used to tell me that me and you're not a friend, you've always been my friend." That's lovely. And I thought to myself, oh, well, when you were growing up, I looked upon you like you just have picnics. So it just goes to show. But then I think also, when children are grown up in a environment where they have extended family, they've got grandmothers in the equation, it does give that different kind of perspective of different generations as well. Because my mum and my grandmother were born in Jamaica and I was born over here. It's slightly different. Because I'm from the Midlands, it's slightly different from how people are brought up in London. So, and as time's changing, you try to make sure that you are keeping abreast of what's going on, and you try to modify your behaviour when it comes to being a mother. And I do think that if you're trying to tap into value and make sure that these things are instilled, so that you know that in your absence that your children will be okay on their own, because nobody wants to really raise a lame duck. The whole idea is to be able to tell children things straight, you know, and straight and really awful. Because I remember years ago, like my daughter, she used to love going shopping, and she always used to love hear, you know, anything that's kicking off down Ridley Road or whatever. She would like to, she'd be rubbernecking her, you know, just to see what's going on. And then she would like to start parting the clothes and things. And then I noticed like she wasn't by my side. So I said, you know, this is having done the speech before going out. Like, you know, when you and I come up, when I call you, you come. When you know what it's like when you say to them, you know, don't take anything from a stranger, and sit down one place, that kind of thing. And she walked off. She walked off, and I found her in the clothes shop, just sort of like perusing through garments. And I said to her, don't walk off of mommy, because somebody's going to crepe you up and put you in their car boot, and you'll never see mommy again. And you know what? You never did it again. I looked back and thought, that's kind of harsh. And she said to me as an adult, well, you know, I'm glad that you did do that, you know, for me. So I was able to see that there's danger, because I think mollycoddling children too much is not good. But then at the same time, terrifying them is not good. It's trying to find people who need them. And I think it very much depends on the child and the relationship that you have on your child, because each child is different. Because if I have multiple children, they most probably will be totally different, you know. So, you know, I just think that you have to just play it by ear, and you sometimes become your mother. Sometimes I hear my mother when, you know, in my thought processing and things, you know. But you know,
has anybody ever said something and afterwards you're like, oh my God, my mum used to say that. You said it exactly the same. Yes. Yeah. It's like that sometimes. Sometimes you catch yourself and think, oh my goodness, you know. But I don't think in my instance it's not a bad thing, but it's just you just realise, oh my goodness, like as I'm aging, I'm kind of morphing into a different state of being, because you know, there's maiden, mother, crone, and you know, you have to have the wisdom as well with it. And you know, excuse me, I think that when you go transitioning through different phases of life, it's to embrace those times, you know, just so that, I mean, I'm not saying that like you've got to be you know, like a fuddy-duddy or anything, and you've got to sort of like be out of step with fashion or anything like that. But I do think that, you know, when people, they do grow old gracefully, or if you see women and other mothers who are aging gracefully, it's very, very beautiful. It's also having this acceptance that there is a cycle of life, and that there's different stages of life which are appropriate for each woman. And I just think that it's quite beautiful just to, you know, go through that metamorphosis, whether or not it's like you are, I don't know, assimilating into, I don't know, like your own mother, or whether or not you're, you know, like 2.0 of your mother. I think it's just a nice time to be exploring.
We're talking about transformation, metamorphosing. I wanted to emphasize that although we're changing, at the same time, there are parts of us that are still us. I don't know if that makes sense.
Evolving.
Especially, especially, what is you know, there is a saying I've read that parallel lives. parallel lives, like they're different versions of us happening at the same time.
Yes.
So my inner child is still here.
Yeah.
And there was a particular question, yes. The question I want to quickly throw out is, so if your childhood self could see you now, grown, healing, striving, what would they say? So for me, I had to make a point of writing this, because if I was to ask my inner child, what would she say to me now? Yeah, I think she'd. Yes, I hear that, San-Ra. I hear that say. Yes, I hear that.
My girl was so
inner
confused at the time that I don't think she thought beyond where she was at.
Yes, you know what?
I was gonna say I was gonna tell you what my inner child was gonna actually say. Yeah. She's I think she'd apologise. I think she'd actually apologise. She'd apologise for the angry times, the tantrums that she had, the guilt.
Are you sure?
The guilt, the fear. She would apologise to me for that, because she will know now that I understand why she acted that way, why she felt the way she had. She would say to me that she knows that I love her, and and that I love her, she loves me, I should say. And she'd say she's proud of me. I'd say I'm proud of her. And yes, that's a deep one. That's a deep one for me. Anyone else want to? Bernice, you're quiet today.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying all the contributions.
I don't want you to enjoy it too much. I want you to contribute. But no, for real. You can learn a lot from just listening anyway. So just go with the flow. Yash, are you okay?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah. Did you want to jump in?
I'm listening.
All right. Anyone else?
I got. Come on, it's my turn. Come on. Go there. Now, man, I'm feeling strongly about this. My inner child is still the 7-year-old and the maybe 9-10-year-old who's just having great fun, and adult things don't concern her. Okay, she might love me if I think about it long and hard, because I've been cherishing her and nurturing her for a long time now. But in her true form, you see them bubbles and colouring and lining the grass, that's her business. How I'm functioning now as an adult, nothing to do with her. I mean, she's enjoying the benefits of it because I've been mothering her for a long time, but how I am right now, but also all the other versions of me that have gone before. But when it comes to my inner child, all of them were damaged. So, I think that 7-year-old kind of encapsulate that angry, I'm not having it one. Yeah, she was seriously angry and needed a lot of work. And now her life is just about fun and joy and feeling safe. And that's her world. So I find it hard to, I feel strong about that inner child, because boy, that was was that what your inner child feels about you, or you about the inner child? I'm thinking that my inner child doesn't have the language or the experience to look at me as an adult and somehow relate to me as an adult. What I was hearing from you was that you almost had two adults relating to each other, kind of appreciating each other. Whereas my inner child is just, I'm safe, I can have fun, I'm not getting beaten, I'm not getting told I'm stupid or dunce or whatever. She good. And we have the most fun. So it's almost like if I had a 7-year-old next to me, I would be looking to that 7-year-old saying, what do you think about me? And they'd be like, are you all right? Because they're feeling safe and can we go and play now? Right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think I was coming from a place where I didn't even know that I had an inner child, so I had to discover her. So in discovering, then there's a relationship that comes from that. So if you haven't discovered something, you don't know that it exists, so you can't acknowledge it. It's almost like you're ignoring it. So now you come to a place where you find something exists, you start to acknowledge it, you build a relationship with it. And so I know that she's grateful for that. So that's why she would say these things to me now. And that's how our relationship has formed as a part of me. And it's very, oh my God, it's very important. It's foundation.
I'm not. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm not sure what my inner child would say to me, but what I would say now, how I am now, what I would say to my inner child is that you're perfect the way you are. Like you're fine. Lavish so much love, like not just affirmations, but like physical hugs and everything else. I would surround her with a lot more in terms of culture and more kind of education around where I come from, in terms of, spirituality, in terms of language, being able to speak my mother tongue, just different things like that. I think I would, if I could visit my inner child as an adult, if that makes sense, I would just lavish. And that's not to say I never had any of that, because I had an abundance of that. But I think every child is an individual, and different child need different things, so if that makes sense. I think that's how I understood.
Well, the good news is you can do all of that right now.
I'm doing that to my grandchildren.
Hey, but you can do it to your own inner child also, because you're saying you recognize a lack, and so you can give that to your inner child.
Of course. And colouring books, everything. There's like some wooden toys. I love wooden toys. I don't know why, but I buy them. I say for my grandchild, but I'm playing with it myself. I love all of that.
Yeah. If you come in my room, you'd be like, "Is there a child in here?" Yes, there is. She's right here.
Exactly. So yeah. And it's fun as well, actually. So yeah.
You're nurturing her.
Yeah. Definitely. I think my inner child will say, "I knew you could do this." And that's with everything, because when you're told you're gonna be, you're ugly, or you should have died at birth, or those kind of. I'm not even going to go into the traumatic, the traumatic stuff. You and especially I'm thinking, when I was going, this is infant school, on your way home. You're not supposed to be depressed at like 6-7 years old. Do you know what I mean? Those kind of things. So my inner child would turn to me and say, "I knew you could do this. I knew you could do this," because it was self-doubt from way back, having to fight and work to do or to get certain things, because you haven't got the support of your so-called people that you're supposed to be getting support from at those particular ages growing up. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yes.
So that's what my inner child will say. "I knew you could do this." With a big fat smile on her face, with her dimples, looking nice and rosy, and saying with her head thrown, "I knew you could do this."
Yeah.
I knew you could do this. Yeah. You can feel that.
Wow.
Or not even choked up, but that just happy feeling warm from the inside. I knew you could do this. Your self-belief, self-worth, getting all those things, working on yourself over the years to get. I knew you could do this. I knew you could do this.
That's powerful.
Yeah. Yes, yes. Sorry, Funmilola. Yes. Yes. Come on.
That's a yes then.
That's a yes. Come on.
That's confirmed yes. That is amazing, right? Because at that age, the conditioning, the self-doubt, that's now ingrained. So that's what you grew up believing. Yeah. So to be able to turn that around, that's hard work. Because that's now the default setting.
Yeah.
That's hard work. So she damn right you could do it. And she did. She said she would, and she did.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's right. Give thanks. Give thanks.
Yes.
So come on, Yash. What would your inner child be saying? Come on, I want to know.
I grew up as the last child. I never had problems. I've been, I'm my mom's last child. So I grew up good, that's what. Kind of spoiled, So it was okay for me. I do not think I would have traded my upbringing in the Caribbean for anything. I would do it again. Wow. I mean, I was kind of in the neighborhood, very, very young boy, going and shop for the elders. They used to give me like 25 cents. I go and buy my little biscuits. It was nice, very nice upbringing. Then never hungry. I would eat mangoes, bananas, anything in the bush. I never paid for nothing. The whole neighbor was my parent because I used to eat at this one home, that one home. I never really missed nothing, and it was kind of nice. And if you haven't got food, I'd go in the river, look for coconuts. I used to go and catch the crayfish in the river. Crayfish!
Wow.
Yeah, cook it for myself, pick breadfruit, go look for bananas in the neighbor yard, or kill the chicken, go and eat the duck egg. The chicken was quite very, very nice. I had a nice upbringing. I wouldn't trade it for nothing. I mean, only my sisters was my there was my nemesis because we was different father. And then I know once my mom leave the house, I had to go in the bush and go and play with my friends. When she come back, she call me, I go back home. I never had no problem.
Well, the specific question was the overall theme is about aging, the ups and downs, the good, the bad, the positive, the negatives that we have experienced, our thoughts, our feelings in terms of that. But the specific question that we were talking about was our younger self. If our younger self could give us a message, what that message would be. And I think you've actually answered it, to be fair. What's your feeling on that?
I think one of the things about our society, we don't have a manual to help guide us on how we should feel at a different point in terms of our lives. So initially, based on our upbringing, would say because we never think about, when we're young, we don't think about the silver when it comes in. And at one time you see, like when you look and you see your hair getting gray, you say, wow, what's going on? You want to do all kind of, topping up, dyeing it. But when you see, but as you're getting older and you realize that that's part of the whole process of life, then I settle with that. I just do not want to be haggard. I don't like no big belly. I can have silver for them, but I don't want no big belly looking haggard and mash up. But for me, I would think I would age gracefully. No problem with that.
Once again, we're coming up to the hour where our discussion ends. We will go to the advert break, and afterwards we'll be travelling together on another magical musical journey. Give thanks.
It's all about the Health and Healing Hub experience each and every Saturday on your favorite station between the hours of 2 and 4. ContrastRadio.net.